So hi everybody and welcome back to Unreal Engine 5 full game tutorial series for absolute beginners. This is video 16 for our tiny game. In this video we are going to create a basic blueprint to widget, but before that we have to talk about our code again because we have forget to comment our code. Commenting our code is very easy. You just select the parts which you want comment. For example, I select here the first part and then you press just C. C is the shortcut for comment, and then this box here will appear, and then you can double click here or press F2 and then write a description what this code is, and this description should answer the question most time why for what you need that. In my case, for example, we have here this L keyboard and I wrote here keyboard input. Okay, we can see that for testing game instance load. Or here another example is this part here. I selected this part, press C, and then I wrote here cast to game instance. This kind of stuff we already can see. This is a cast here, but then I wrote why we have this game instance holds the variable which we want to use. You can also change the comment color. You select just the comment what you have, go here right to the details panel, and then here in the section comment color, click on it and then change the color what you like. You can also set the default color. For example, at start they have a default color like this white and you don't like it, you want it more darker. Go here on top, edit to editor preference, then in editor preference you write here on top comment, and when you write comment, then here you find this default comment note title color. You select this one and then set your color a little bit darker, for example here down. And the best way to do the comments is normally when you write the code, but in this video I skip this part because that would take a lot of time, so I do it this later. But you should do this as a beginner because then you don't have to research every node again, because the comment should explain it for you. Okay, and let's start now to create a very basic main menu, and for that we need widget blueprints. Okay, the first thing what we are going to do is go into the content row, select our folder and create a new folder, right click new folder, and then you should create this folder here which called so, and then you open up your folder and then right click here, and then here you go to user interface, and in user interface you can go here to widget blueprint. We select this one, then we use the normal widget user widget to this one here. You can find it here as well, it's the same. So we select this one and then you call your widget blueprint. I call it my main menu. Okay, I called my widget blueprint main menu D, and then I open this one up, and then we see the widget blueprint editor, which is a little bit different because here on the left side we see a palette, and these are all the items which we can use to create a user interface, which means the visible place. And later here on top right you see we can switch to the graph, which means the coding part. So we are here when I click to the designer where we just place buttons, sliders and text and all this kind of stuff, and later we code this stuff. We are going to create a very basic main menu and we start with a canvas. So we go here to the left side, right canvas, and you see here the canvas panel. You can just drag this here or here. Both are the same. Here's just a hierarchy and here is just a visual representation. And this canvas panel here is just a panel which let us align every object on the screen. What does this mean? Let's say this is our game screen here, and if I place the canvas, for example a button here, then it will be appearing here on our play screen and so on. For our simple game, let's just create a start and a quit button. So let's find first of all button. We write here button, and when you write here just a little bit it pops up here. You find button, you drag this here or again here, doesn't matter. Let's drag it here and you can see here this flower sign, and this one is this alignment what I talked, because we have placed this button now here in the canvas, and this flower says this object here is aligned to this corner, and we can change that where you want place it. For example, here on the right side it says anchor, and then it says in which places you want have, for example in the middle and so on. Let's do this one in the middle here, and this button, let's place it here, and it will be aligned all time towards this one here. Let's make this button a little bit bigger. You can see here on the side, so when I hover my mouse over the edges there, the sign appears, and then you can stretch this a little bit, make it a little bit bigger, and we need a text in the middle. So we go here on the left side, write text, and this text we can now drop here in the middle. Important is not dropping here on the side, because this one is now on the canvas and this one should be go here, and this one is not in the in the button. How you can see that? Here left on the hierarchy you can see here is the canvas, the button is here and the text is here, so they are both on the canvas. And if you want to put now this one in the button, because this is possible here, you just select the text here in the hierarchy, for example, and then you can drag it on the button, and now it's in the button. And now let's change a little bit the button and the text. First we start with the button, we select the button, I click here, or you can just click here on the hierarchy. Now the button is selected, I go here to the details panel and I want to change the style, because the style here has 3 modes. The normal mode, that what you see here, which is the first thing what you see. The hovered mode, that means when my mouse hovers over the button, then you can change here the color. And the press mode, that means when I hover my mouse over it and press the button, for example, to select it. Let's make it very simple. Let's start with the normal mode, and I go here to the tin, I click on this one and I just select here a color. Let's select this one here anyhow. This one I press here, okay, it's a little bit blue. And then I go also to the pressed mode. You can go also to the hovered. I skip this part and make this one, for example, just green. For example, if I pressed it, then I will see. But you can see the green is not visible right now because this is just the press mode. When my mouse pressed this button, and then it will appear green as long as I pressed it. And for the hovered mode, let's do something there too. So we go here, we make this again bluer, but we can make it a little bit darker. For example, I go here down and make here a very dark blue. So when I hover over it later, it will be a little bit darker. That's enough for this one. Let's switch now to the text. Now you see I have selected the text again here, the details panel. Here is color and opacity. Let's change the color as well. Let's go it with, I don't know, for example, yellow. And let's change the text as well. It says here font, and then the font size is how big it is. But I want the text, so I go here to top here. It says content text, and let's write here star. And you can see it's a little bit small, right? Again, here in font. Here's the size. We can change this one, not too big. Let's make it so that it fits here around in. And here on top, bottom, you can justify so that it fits there. If it's not, then okay. Then you can go select the button here, for example, again, and then size the content if you want to just exactly like the start. But we keep this one. That's okay. And I think that's enough. Of course, read here all the options. Again, here is the AI. You can check this with the AI here, but we go on. So we have here our start button. Now we need a quit button, and there is an easy way to make a quit button now, because we just select our button here. You can see I have select this one, and now I press just duplicate, right click. You can make here duplicate, or Control D is the same thing. Let's duplicate this one, and you can see I have the same thing here again with the same settings like top. The only thing what we have to change is here the text and perhaps the color. Okay, I have positioned this one here. Let's select the text here. Let's write this time quit, and perhaps let's set here also the color a little bit different. I select the button, go here to details panel to the normal, and let's make here another color. This one here doesn't matter, no zoom out. And you can go and do this for the other things as well, but I'm skipping this part because that, like, again, is just taking a little bit too much time, which we don't need right now. And yeah, that's okay. We have this. We have now start and quit button. Okay, the last thing here what we do is adding here perhaps a background black image. And how we can make this, we go here on top, image, oops, there it was. There is this image. We drag it here, we drag it on the canvas, so you can just drop in the canvas. Again, here's the alignment, anchor in the middle, because they are all time the same. Then you drag the image, you can make it a little bit bigger. Let's make it so, and then you can choose again here the color. You go here to the brush, open up this one, here is the tint, and let's set this, for example, to black. It's okay. And here we have to do one more thing, because you can see now this image here is under the buttons, but it must be a little bit more specified. How we can do this with in the details panel, here's something like called set order. Set order means just in front or in the background, on the background, and we want it on the background. And we can specify this with more negative numbers. For example, 0 is normal. And let's say I give it just for fun -5. And the other one here, when I select the button, you can see the set order is 0. It will be all time in front. This one has also set order 0, all by in front, and the image is on the background. And that's enough for our visual representation of a very super small main menu. Of course, you can make this absolute super complicated, but this one you are doing with AI and with templates and all this finished things. Right now for us, that's enough. Okay, now we want code these buttons, but before that we select our button again. Then we go here on top and select is variable, because then when we scroll down and you compile this, compile save, here events should appear because we need this on click event. So select this one, and then it switches here to the graph mode. It's just on top. Designer is that where we are, and then it will switch here to the graph, and it will create here this node which is connected to this button. The same thing you are doing with the quit button. So you select the quit button again. Here on top is variable, compile, save, then just scroll down, and then here on click event, just click this one. It switch again here to the graph side, and we don't need the other presets. We can just delete them, and we will go on from here. And you can see the buttons here have very bad names, button 33 and button. So we switch again here on top to the designer. We select the button here start. We go here to the hierarchy. We select the button, press F2, and let's call this just button. BTN is the shortcut start. And let's do the same thing here. Select this one, F2. Beta and quit. After this, compile, save, go to the graph again here on click, and you can see now we know what they are. Okay, let's fill up this one. We start with the start button, so we want to start the game. In our case, we are opening a level, and how we do this, we drag this out, open level, we make it by name, but we have not created this level right now, but we can make it later in a moment. And then here on click quit, we just write here quit, and there is a quit game. Okay, to start the game, we can create a new level, or we can use this level. I'm going to create a new level. For that one, we go here to the content drawer. Again, here in our level content, we are not creating here anything. We can just go here on top, new level. Let's call this one empty if you want, or you can even use the basic one, but let's use empty because we will create our level from scratch. Let's create this one. Now we have it empty. Then we have to save this level. Let's Control S, and then it pops up. We are here in our folder. Let's call this one almost like this one. Instead of main menu, let's call this one just what you like. I call it my level 1, and then we save that. Now we have level 1, and then you can see here in the world settings, here's nothing. Later we have filled this one with a game mode, and the game mode will populate this kind of stuff, but this for later. We are switching now to our main menu again, and here we have now this name. Okay, it says here a level name. We have to find the level name. It's very easy. You go to the content drawer. Again, here is the level name. Instead of typing this one, you can just press here F2, Control C for copy, and then here and Control V to paste, and we have the level name. And we can compile, save, and that was it already. We need one more. Okay, and now we have to call this main menu widget anyhow. First of all, I switch back to our main menu level because here I have a player controller, and that is one of the best places to call this widget or to bind this widget or to create this widget. Let's open this one up. Here's the player controller, and here we have to initialize it now. And we are going to do this with begin play. So right click here, find begin play, event begin play is here, and then we say here create widget, and then you should find this one here, and then we have here a class which we can select, and you just select the class which we just created. It is called your widget main menu. Here is this one. You select the widget which you have, and then you are almost finished. Here in the output, you go here and say add to viewport, and with that said, we can compile and already test it. Okay, and when we start the game and test that the quit button is working, that's nice. But when I start here again and hover over the button, you can see the hovering is working as well, and so, but when I press start, this is not working. And the reason for that is because I forgot to set in my other level, that was level 1, which is our play level, in the world settings, the game mode. We need at least a base game mode. Let's set it to game mode base, which is just a default game mode. And now we save, and now we switch again to our main menu level here. And now I start, press play and start. You can see it is switching now to the other game mode, and then all the widgets are disappears. And the reason for that is because in the new level everything is created from scratch. So, and I changed here a little bit again the background color, so that when we start here the game, that we can see the box behind it. And with that said, we have created here a very basic start menu, but these are just so that you have an entry level. From this point you build now more and more and more complex things, but that's enough for our case. The more complex things, you are using AI again templates and many other things. And yeah, with that we are stopping here, and if you have any questions, like all time, write in the comment section. See you next video. Bye and good luck.